Exit. That's where Fresky's going. Straight to the loo. The guidebook says the Rosetta Stone was the key to deciphering ancient Egyptian writings called hieroglyphics. For over 1,000 years, nobody had any idea how to read all that picture writing found on Egyptian tombs. Felix and Aaron know for some reason. And they also had very little idea of how the ancient Egyptians lived. Now we know a lot about them because of the Rosetta Stone. The famed Rosetta Stone is a slab of black basalt about 4 feet high and 2 feet wide. The same message is carved into its surface in 3 different languages. Blah, blah, blah. Once the stone was found, scholars could look at a word in the Greek message, which they could read, and then see how the same word was spelled in other sections. It's like cracking a code. Cool! Indeed. When he was 11 years old, someone showed him some hieroglyphs and told him no one alive could read them. He wanted to be the person to figure them out, so he spent 20 years studying the Rosetta Stone until he finally decoded its secret. What a loser! Cleopatra. In ancient times, Cleopatra was spelled with a K. Cleopatra. Like it changes the pronunciation. In those days, Romans ruled the Mediterranean, and Roman generals often fought with Roman emperors or Caesars for control of the empire. Cleopatra used this situation to the advantage of Egypt, but it eventually spelled her doom. Blah, 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 blah. What a tragic story! No wonder the name Cleopatra has come down through the ages to us. 2,000 years after she died, Cleopatra is still famous for her beauty and her brains. This way leads to the British Library. It's huge! Mr. Sneed is the only librarian for some reason. Aunt Miranda said we could probably find out a lot about Leota Park in the British Library, and that Uncle Basil's friend Mr. Sneed would help us. Hi, Mr. Sneed! Ugh. Oh, good heavens, please keep your voices down. This is an institution of higher learning, not a common meeting room. Decorum must be maintained at all times. This is not America, you know. Hey, now! Hey, hey! Let's not be rude here. Your Aunt Miranda called, and in a polite, quiet tone of voice, told me what you were researching. I've set out the material right here. Now if you have any questions, please keep them to yourselves. Good day. Oh, Mr. Sneed, don't pretend like you don't enjoy helping us. Plus, you talk so freaking loud. I forgot, Carson, just how testy Mr. Sneed can be. Let's be quiet and see what he's got for us about Leota Park and missing monkeys. First, let's look up Leota Park on the map of London. The index will let us know if there's anyone anywhere in the city. Nothing. Now let's look up Leota Park on the map of England. The index will let us know if... You just said that. Still nothing. Last, let's look it up on the World Atlas. Blah, blah. Nothing. Whatever Leota Park is, it doesn't seem to be a place. A phone book. Maybe Leota Park is somebody's name. Let's look it up under P. Here it is, Carson. Park, Leota. It gives an address at the University of London. We'll have to go check this out. Maybe this is the person who helped steal those monkeys this morning. Wow, a book called How to Decipher Hieroglyphs. Fast! Mr. Sneed sure thinks of everything. I think Aaron and Felix are the only ones who have ever checked that book out. Mr. Sneed's book has a chart that shows which hieroglyph stands for which letter. They call a chart like this a key. There's a copy in your Eagle Eye Handbook, Carson. Take a look. Here are the hieroglyphs from Cavity's note. Can you use the key in your Eagle Eye Handbook to figure out what word the hieroglyphs spell? Take your time, and remember, some hieroglyphs stand for more than one letter. Got your Eagle Eye Handbook? No. Check the hieroglyphics key and see if you can figure out McCavity's code. Watch your spelling. Good thing I've played this game 50 times. You're right, Carson. The hieroglyphics read Cleopatra. That's the name that French guy used to unlock the secrets of ancient Egypt. Hopefully we can use it to find those missing monkeys. Let's look up Cleopatra in the phone book. Darn, there's nobody in there by that name. Could be a dead end. Aha! A book on monkeys and apes. First, let's look up howler monkeys. It says here that howlers come from Central and South America. They get their name because of the incredible howling sound they make. Carson's like, in the bedroom. Listen to how one scientist describes it. The howlers begin with a pumping growl, which turns into a booming howl, then changes into a roar, a series of roars. Sometimes the howl will trail off into a tangle of sounds like many jaguars fighting. It is one of nature's most incredible sounds. I shouldn't have made that comment. It's just, it ruined the rest of this mystery. Now let's look up chimpanzees. They are apes that live in the tall forests of Africa. Wait, there's a section in here about apes that know sign language. In recent years, researchers have had considerable success in teaching gorillas and chimpanzees to speak in sign language. Because apes have hands that are very much like human hands, it is easier for them to make hand signs than it is for them to make sounds. After use of patient instruction, apes can learn over 100 words in sign language. They can then combine the words they know into short sentences like give toy me and me bad again. Blah, blah, blah. It's amazing, isn't it, Carson? But then lots of animals use language of some sort to communicate. This is just a case of an animal who has learned to use another language, one we can understand. Frescura. The fuck, why are we going here? Oh, creepy Gordon. There's Uncle Basil and Nigel's friend Gordon. Gordon is really into Egyptology, the study of Egypt's past. Let's show him those hieroglyphics we deciphered. Well then, Carson and Jennifer, how are the investigations going? Did you find out how Miranda planned to interview those animals? Yes, Uncle Baz, one of them knows sign language. Right, I heard all about it on the radio. It's a chimpanzee named YumYum, and now everyone's getting all riled up about it. People are wondering who is going to buy YumYum and the other monkeys. It should be a really big story for Mum. I hope you two can help her find YumYum and the monkeys. After all this publicity, the city will make sure they find a good home. Yeah, in the Chuzik's basement. Ah, hieroglyphics, and you've deciphered them already. Let me have a stab at them and see if I get the same answer you did. First, I see the hieroglyphs are enclosed in that oval capsule called a cartouche. That means it's probably the name of some important person. The Egyptians often put the names of their kings and queens inside cartouches. I should have known this one right off the bat. It's quite a famous hieroglyphic, actually, the one for the Queen of the Nile, Cleopatra. Hey, I remember an old pet store on Quaint Street called the Cleopatra. That's in the same storefront as the sunglasses shop and the mask store. Yes, but that was spelled the modern way, with a C. Beginning with a C. The hieroglyphics spelled Cleopatra the ancient way, with a K. Cleopatra. 'Cause it sounds different when you say it out loud. Anyhow, Nigel, we'll check it out, and we'll be on the lookout for Cleopatra. Come on, Carson, let's go. Gordon just invited himself over. He loves hanging out with Uncle Basil.